I'm going to go over Snowflake because the company reports earnings on Wednesday. Thank you to trader Murat for pointing this ticker out. They are expected to bring in $851 million, and fingers crossed, the ticker runs on Wednesday. Now, he also says that there is a gap to be aware of to the downside at 116. I will take a look at that in just a moment. But first, your price targets on the 5-minute time frame. We ended the day at 131.92, up 0.38%. This is where we are. Move this out of the way. To the north side takes us back to the middle of the trend and the baseline at 132.98. Above that at 2 standard deviations and 1 level of resistance and a potential take profit area, 135.28. At 3 standard deviations, 136.62 and 137.90. If we get to this level, you can anticipate a pullback as people take their profits and they run. They will lock in and they will leave. I do not anticipate price to get to this level, but again, if it does, anticipate a slight pullback for a possible another leg up. Now, to the south side, 130.50, 129.29, and 128.05. The 1-year price target is 191.61, which represents a 45% return from where we are. So if you haven't gotten into this, now could be a good time. But obviously, if it runs, you might want to wait for a pullback. But if you've bought all the way up here previously, where I'll show it to you on a different time frame, then you might want a dollar cost average down. Now, note the bounce here at support, and then this is resistance, but we blew right through up to this level of resistance, and then a sell-off down to support, back up to resistance, and then we didn't make it down here, but this would be, again, resistance, and we'd have to bust through this level, so watch out for that. Now, Murat said to look out for the gap at 116. So I clearly have not looked at this in a while, as I mentioned. So 116 is right in, oh, wait, it's right here. But this one is also a gap. We gapped up and we closed to the downside. So that lined up with here. We went down a little bit more and then started to run. So this acted as support as well. But this is the one he is talking about, I believe. I will mark that out so that I can. So this one closed already. Line that up. And let me now, well, wait a second. I'll drag this out on the 5 because if you go to the different time frames, it will not line up. And then note, I looked at this back on the 5th when it was 112. I know I trade a lot of different tickers, so it does pay off to keep a close eye on a handful of stocks that you like so that you know that the price has not gotten that far previously, and that's a good buy-in. But look at that, that's even a better buy-in. Right there at 108. All right. Let me mark this out. Oops, gotta drag it one notch past that or it gets wonky. There we go. So he said in the 116 range now. Now I marked that out on the 5, and there's another one right here, but that closed out. So let me go to the 30, where he mentioned the 30 time frame and says it's not a popular time frame to trade in, but you can see that better. But obviously you can see gaps on any time frame that you're trading in. It just will be clearer on certain time frames to see it better. All right, so on the 30-minute time frame, there we are, and the middle of the trend would take us back down to 124.47. We are on a downward trend on the 30, and then above that takes us to 140.19. Now let's take a look at this on the daily. And as you can see, I need to clean up my chart. Okay, let's move that out of the way. So on the daily, oops, Command Z. On the daily, we are at, to the north side, 147.01, 195.43, and back on November, the 1-year price target was 203, and what did I say it was? 191. So we have dropped since then, and then 98.98 to the south side on the daily. On the RSI, we've got plenty of room to move on the weekly and some on the daily before getting extended, and plenty of room on the monthly. So hopefully, now let's take this, oops. Let me just show you what I need to do. So clearly I marked out a gap here. Now this is the daily, it's going to change. Let me make this thicker. I like my lines to be thick. So on the daily, that closed right there. But if you flip this onto the 5-minute, you're going to have to clean this up. But I'm just showing you this generically. 135.93, and then we fell down even more. And what happened here? So we gapped down. Let me get rid of this. And then we closed right here to the south side at 144.64. And that one looks like it closed. Oh, no, not yet. It touched. Oh, look at, oh, wait, it touched right there. Yeah. So that's done at 159, no longer a threat. And I've got to clean that up. That looks like a mess. And this one closed to the downside. If you like to go short, whoops, Command Z. And we touched right about there. 152.40, no longer a threat. Delete. And what is happening? Oh, I was just giving price targets on that one. I've kind of changed my system of marking things out for you, but I will clean this up on my own without boring you. So be aware of this gap to the south side. Now, back to the 5. See how that changed? Look at this. So now I've got to drag this back to 131. $92. All right. The next one I want to go over is Palo Alto Networks. Again, PANW. So we ran today, so that's why I want to take a look at this. Up 7.18% on Sunday night. Trader Murat also pointed this out. He anticipated a good earnings report on Monday, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, and then Monday night, we ended the day at 343, and now it is Tuesday, end of day. So we ended the day at 361.08. I will mark this out. Change this to black because I like to color code everything that I do now. And I'm going to give you some price targets for Wednesday. Now, we were up here towards resistance and falling back down to support along this line. So to the north side is one level of resistance, 385.29, 395.05, and 404.92. The baseline, 365.46, 345.34, 335.75, and 325.87. Keep in mind that this thing has run like crazy, and so I will anticipate a pullback, but a pullback for another leg up. Now, we hit 375.37. This gap closed out at 364.88. Now I'm going to flip this to the 15 so you can see this better. Actually, I got to go to the next one because I can't pull it or scroll this. Okay, so here you see this. This opened back on roughly the 20th. So it finally closed right here on the 20th today as I make this. So congratulations if you played that gap fill all the way to 364.88, and then we ran even higher over here. Now the 1 year price target is 375.27, which only represents, well, we hit it, right? We hit it because, I should stop saying right, I'm sorry. Everybody says that and then I'm saying it. It drives me bonkers. 375.35, but we hit that 375.27, so they need to fix this and correct it. So this hit right here. And then the next target is 416. Well, because we hit this, this is as of today, 416. So this is the target right here. But it's not going to be easy. So this is no longer in play. Delete. And on the 30-minute, look at that. We are at resistance. Let me take this back down to the daily time frame and look at all of these gaps that are open wounds, landmines to the south side, but we are in an upward channel. Thank goodness, because this thing took a hit. And we are at 368.01 right here to the north side, takes us to 386.94. This is the daily, and look, boom, that lines up with 4 standard deviations basically, and that would take us to 416. And should we be so lucky in the big picture, that could take us to 438.40. If you're not an analyst, you don't look at fundamentals, you can look at the charts and figure out a price target yourself, either retracing back to where we are or just looking at the chart and then marking out your chart. So that gap here closed. Once you start, oh, there's a gap here. Once you start looking for gaps, I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb. So that was up. Fix that. This is on the daily time frame. I'm noticing this. All right, we are moving farther away from this target as well, but it could come to haunt us. You never know. Just be aware of it. We are not in that channel, not in the zone, not even close. Let me show you on the monthly. See, look at that. Can you imagine buying it at $13 and then stair-stepping our way up? All right, so that's Palo Alto. Oh, I got stopped out of 2 trades. I'm going to go over that very quickly. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh, D for Dominion Energy. This looks like a hot mess, but I've tracked it for a very long time. Let's go to the 5. Apparently, I got stopped out on the 5th, Monday the 5th, and I didn't know that until I saw an email alerting me of the transaction. I saw the email today, but the trade happened on the 5th. So let me review what happened. First, I'm going to give you price targets. 56.30. color code this. All right, to the middle of the trend, ignore the green line, that's where I sold. So we'll be back at 56.69, 57.20, 57.47, and should we be so lucky as to get to this level, you know what will happen, 57.73. And I had set this limit a long time ago, hoping to get 10%. And I forgot to look at it. That's what happens. I get so busy and I've been working on a few projects and I was traveling. I have all kinds of excuses, but it affected my trading. But I put in the sell orders as much as I can. 55.89, and then it hit and I should have adjusted, but I didn't. 55.64, but I can't kick myself because I'd rather take a win than be in the red and then wait for it to go and rebound, which I've done many times. All right, so to the south side there is 55.63. If I didn't say that already, I'm getting sidetracked. All right, so that is a look at your price targets. Now, you can see the clear buy-in down here at support, the clear sell line here, and then close to this line as we make our way up. This is support, so I will anticipate a bounce. The 1-year price target is now, it's already been met at 56.24. We're at 59 bucks, not much more, but I bought in for the shares that I sold out. I bought in at 51.46. And I bought in, oh, look at that gap I have to clean up. Here. Oh my gosh, I need to keep stretching this out. Okay, never mind. I'll have to show you this on a different time frame, a bigger time frame. Okay. But this is where I bought. I just used this to find out what 10% was, and I hit it and it triggered my sell limit. And it went up even higher at 56.78, but I wasn't tracking it, so that's what I get. So I'm out of these positions here. In the pink are my buy lines. All the green lines are my previous sell lines. This thing has been dangerous. And then we still have this gap to watch out for, taking us to 49.80. If and when we reverse, I could dabble some more back then. But I do have some shares that are still in play for me at 48.42 and 48.52. I have not sold out of that. I was going to wait till we hit that $59 mark because I've looked at this before, but I might as well just put a target in and get rid of this, because now that we have made up our losses from the previous week or two where we bled out, the stock market has been roaring back, and I don't want to be caught up here because these are not long-term trades for me. These are just fun. That's 16% at today's level, and if I hit the next target at $59, let's just say that would be a 21%. I don't know if I'm going to stay in it that long, but I will consider it. I got to figure out what to do here. Okay, so that is Dominion. The other one I got stopped out of by accident because I was silly. I put the trade order in for like, is it 60 days or whatever? And then I hit it. I never looked at it. Okay, so let me explain what I did here. I bought in, oh, it's kind of hard to see. Well, first, let's give you the price targets because everybody wants to know what are the targets. 20.99 is where we ended. All right, so to the north side takes us to 21.27, 21.69, 21.92, and 2213 to the south side, 2083, 2063. My neighbor just got in or got home. I see him in the window driving his Lucid. I should go over Lucid soon one day. All right, the next one after that is 2040. So those are your price targets for Wednesday. And let me show you this. Well, here we have close to support and a bounce. Bounce here, resistance, support, support, resistance, trying to sell off, grinding along the middle of the trend. All right, so what happened is the last time I bought in for myself, just a dollar cost average down was at 1980, and I didn't quite put it at 10% because I was going for this gap. So let me clean up this gap. So this gap opened up and it touched right here on basically Monday out of the gate. So that gap is no longer in play. And that was my target for down here as an easy point to get out. Obviously, if you're playing the long game, look at this. And I'm not with this, but I am for my mom, 2904. So I've been in and out of different positions. I have to see if I'm out of the other ones high up, but maybe not. Yeah, it's been a mess. Okay. So this gap is done at 2141, but I sold out at 2142. I put it 1 penny above what I thought was the target. Here you can see I didn't do a good job. It should have been like, oops, never mind. My magnet is on. It's making everything wonky. It really should have been right there. Because look, I was a little sloppy. And I could have waited or gone up to 2144. See how that, if you don't precisely mark out, you could be leaving some money on the table like I did. But anyway, sold out here, bought here. That's an 8.18% return. So this is a gap that's still open. And then this target will be 2198. So I did buy in some down here for my mom to dollar cost average. Okay, and that's it. I want to say that we are very, what is this? Oh, I got sidetracked. Someone's calling me. My handyman's calling me. 2854 is the 1 year price target, which represents a 35% return. So keep your eyes on this one and take advantage if we retrace back down to these levels. And Trader Murat also says to possibly, if you're looking at CrowdStrike and NVDA, to dollar cost down, to look into that because there are opportunities to do that because as you can see, let me just check NVIDIA really fast again. Where did we end? Oh yeah, see, look at that. So the last time I talked about it, we were at 130, back down to support, up to resistance, back down to support, up to resistance, back down to support. And the cycle repeats itself. So if what I do is, if I'm trying to buy something, in my mind, I try to be calm about it and think, I don't need this ticker. I have plenty of stocks and whatever to trade. I don't need more. But if I'm so lucky as to get it at 125.31, put an order down for here or wherever you retraced, maybe to here even. So that's something that I like to do, and that's a level that was the middle of the trend that I tracked a long time ago. So that's something to take a look at. And CrowdStrike, let me look. Oh, before I leave it, let me just mark this out since I talked about it. 125. Okay, so your target at the middle of the trend is 129.25 and 131.22. 126.33, 125.34, and now let's go to Crowd. And then I've got to end it because I need to get on my treadmill. I have been lazy ever since I got back. I have not exercised and done anything for myself. Oops. And I need to get active again. All right. to the north side, 268.42, 271.85. I'm just going to go to -2 standard deviations because 264.95, and then down here, 263.22. Clear sell signal, and then this is support. We fell past it and then went back up, and then support for a potential buy-in, and this is a gap to the downside at 256.91. And I'll mark that out and be done. Yeah, make sure you're able to look for those gaps, because if you're patient, the chart could reverse. I need to, there. Okay, and that will take us starting at, oops. Roughly 257.51 and then down to 256.92-ish. All right, that does it for me. Thank you again to Trader Murat for pointing out all of those tickers. Sometimes I don't know what to track, so it's nice to get some ideas. And I hope you have a fantastic trading day.